50 pounds of fat gone. Not with crazy pills or crazy diets or endless cardio, but with a method so different. It's why most men fail at weight loss. It's also transformed these guys too. And in the next 8 minutes, I'll show you exactly how it can transform your weight loss journey too, starting right now. So I have 8 minutes. First thing that I need you to do is take a look at your friend group. So the people that you are surrounded by are basically the biggest determining factor on whether or not you lose weight. And I promise you, this was a hard thing for me to do because I had a friend group that I was friends with for 20 years and I had to cut them out in order to lose weight because I was 220 pounds and they were going out for beers every weekend. They were doing takeouts on a Friday. They were just living a lifestyle that did not align to my goals and what I wanted in life. And some people have these metabolisms and genetics that allow them to eat takeout and beer and not gain weight. Unfortunately, me and maybe you too are not like that. And so we need to be around the right people. And not only is this just good for weight loss, but it's good for your entire life because you are a product of the 5 closest people to you. So first thing that we need to have a look at is who you are surrounded by. This is a major factor. The next thing that you need to be aware of is your beliefs, your limiting beliefs and your belief system, what you believe is achievable. When I was 220 pounds overweight, I had no idea how to lose weight. I didn't believe it was possible. I thought I was a failure. I thought I would never be able to be someone that's in shape. And yet I'm in incredible shape right now. And I'm proud to say that. And I'm only able to do that because I changed my beliefs and I changed the way that I seen the world and what I thought to be possible. And if you do not have a look at your identity and your beliefs, nothing will change for you. And this may sound woo-woo or whatever else. More than likely, you're not for this channel if you already think that, so just piss off. But if you are someone who understands that what you believe is what you achieve, as cliche and as woo-woo as it sounds, the cliche stuff is the only stuff that's true in any single context. So the last thing that we need to look at, these are meant to be candles, and it is meant to represent burnout because your energy, your motivation, are all in the toilet. And I understand that because that is exactly where I used to be at 220 pounds. I used to have a friend group, and so we would go to the beach, let's say on a Sunday after a heavy night of drinking. Saturday, you'd like to get into the sea and feel a bit refreshed or whatever, even though, of course, it really didn't help with weight loss. It was a nice way to feel better about myself. And so we would go to the beach, but I was the one friend who wouldn't take his top off. Why would I not take my top off? Because I was so overweight, self-conscious and self-critical. And so when we would go and they'd all be like, let's get in the water, I would be the guy in the water with his t-shirt on. And I don't want anyone else to go through that. I want you to be able to take your top off and feel proud of who you are and proud of the person and the body that you have. And I know that to some of you right now, that may sound ridiculous or just cringe or whatever else, but it is achievable for you. I promise you, it is so, so easy when you understand the solution that I'm going to walk you through. So I've talked about the problems. I've got 5 minutes left, by the way. Keep an eye on that because by the end of this, you will understand how I did it so you can too. And it's 50 pounds of fat just zipped off me. I've also helped all of those guys that I talked about earlier, so I know what I'm talking about. Now, if you want to talk about relationships or you want to talk about financial advice, I have no idea. I promise you, I am clueless when it comes to them things. But you want to talk about losing weight and doing it as fast as possible. This is how I did it, and I hope it will help you. So once you understand that you have the wrong beliefs, the wrong friend group, and you have a problem of burning out the whole time, then I kind of talked about, I suppose, my situation and being so overweight and so critical. And now I want to talk to you about the third step, the solutions, the reason, the how. How the hell do we get out of this? You're 50 pounds overweight. You need to get the fat off your body. What do we do? So first thing we do is we build systems. So systems avoid what? They avoid burnout. And if you do not avoid burnout, you are never, ever going to be able to lose that weight that you want. And now systems means having a gym plan, having a diet plan, having a routine that fits with your lifestyle, not just one that you can do for a day or a month or a week. I mean a system that you can do for 10 plus years. And if you are wondering what is the exact system that I took all of those men through, check the top link in the comments and in the description. It is a free video for you to check out. I invite you to have a look at that. It could be the thing that changes your entire life. But to get on with this now, systems, you need to have a calorie system. So obviously you need to be in a calorie deficit. I'm just saying that because there's some dweeb in the comments right now ready to go at me for not saying that. So to him, yeah, I just said a calorie deficit. Yeah, well done. All right, congratulations, step one. So once you understand that you need to be in a calorie deficit, we need to find a system that works for you, not against you. And one of the biggest problems that I see right now in the fitness industry is most people are handing out these crazy diet plans, gym plans, and they're just like, basically, if you can imagine you are driving a car and that car has suddenly broke down. So you take it to the garage, you take it to the mechanic. The mechanic says, okay, looks like you've got something at the timing belt on the engine is gone or whatever it is. And so you say, okay, how much is that going to cost? And the mechanic looks at you and says, no, first we're going to change the wheels and then we're going to have a look at the lights. And you're like, well, the problem's in the engine, so why are you fixing my wheels? But this is exactly what most fitness influencers and gurus do. They diagnose the symptoms and not the problem. The problem that you have is that your mental health is in the toilet. And this is something that is a delicate topic. And I'm not saying that I am a wizard of all who knows everything about mental health. But what I am telling you is that it is the key determining factor in whether or not I lost weight. So the way that I lost 50 pounds was improving this. How did I improve my mental health? So I did, number one, I gratitude journaled every single day. In the middle of the gym, I would whip out my phone in between sets and I would put down, I made it a rule of my life, made it a non-negotiable every single day. So there's 3 non-negotiables for me when I was losing weight. The first one was gratitude journal. The second one was sticking to my routine. And the third one was spending time with loved ones. So when you do this, everything else will fall in behind it. And it seems very counterintuitive or different because you think you're not attacking the real problem. You think that the problem is the exercise. You think that the problem is your diet. But really, if you gratitude journal, if you just journal in general, and effective journaling, by the way, is what is known as effective journaling is where the pen just flows. So it just goes and you scribble along and you're just writing whatever comes out of your mouth. And sometimes it makes no sense. Sometimes it makes perfect sense. I got 1 minute left, by the way. So you've got your gratitude journaling. You've got your normal journaling. The last thing you need is meditation. And when you get this right, this is what improves your mental health. And when your mental health is in good shape and your mental health is actually working, then you can go on to lose the weight because you can stick to a diet plan, you can stick to a gym plan because you're in a happy, positive place where going for takeouts or drinking beer, whatever else the other kind of thing that you were using to fill that void was, you just don't need it because you're actually happy. You're using them things as vices, as kind of tools or coping mechanisms. And so if you think for 1 second that your problem is the diet plan or the gym plan, you're wrong. The problem is your mental health. And so if you want to improve your mental health with a gym plan and a diet plan, check the comments and the description for a link to a video that I invite you to watch. It's completely free to watch. And it is the reason that I am below 10% body fat. It took 3 steps and I think that it can help you seriously. So check that out.